पील पुलिस ने अज अपडेट दी है जी इन्वेस्टिगेटिव टास्क फोर्स बनाई सी पील रीजन एक्सटॉर्शन दी कॉल्स बहुत सी काफ़ी बिजनेस कम्यूनिटी डरी हुई सी स्केयर्ड सी काफ़ी लोगों ने रिपोर्ट की काफ़िया ने रिपोर्ट भी नहीं की 29 केसिस इदा के हले तक एक्सटॉर्शन के जोड़े पुलिस के सामने आए हैं पुलिस ने जोड़े बंदे अरेस्ट किए हैं इन्वेस्टिगेटर ऑफिसर्स ने अरेस्ट किए हैं 5 इंडिविजुअल अरेस्ट किए हैं उन्होंने मैं नाम पढ़दा उन्होंने पिक्चर्स भी दिखाने हैं गगन अजीत सिंह 23 साल के इन्हों अरेस्ट किया गया पुलिस की तरफ तो अनमोलदीप सिंह आ है 23 साल के इन्हों अरेस्ट किया गया हशमीत कौर 25 साल की कुड़ी इन्हों की पिक्चर डिस्पले नहीं की हशमीत कौर 25 साल की इन्हों एक्सटॉर्शन के उपर अरेस्ट किया गया ईमनजोत कौर 21 साल की फीमेल इन्हों अरेस्ट किया गया 21, 22, 25 साल के और अरुणदीप थिंड 39 ईयर्स ओल्ड अब 5 इंडिविजुअल पील पुलिस की तरफ तो अरेस्ट किए गए हैं एक्सटॉर्शन दी कॉलां करते सी बिजनेस ओनर्स नूं थ्रैट करते सी पैसे मंगते सी इन्हों सवाल पुलिस नूं यह भी पूछा गया इन्वेस्टिगेटर ऑफिसर्स नूं कि की तुसी इंडियन गौरमेंट नाल इन टच रहे हो आना इंडिविजुअल्स के बारे कदों आए हो कहते इन्वेस्टिगेटर पार्ट है हले असी इंडियन गौरमेंट नाल टाई अप नहीं होए इन्हों असी भी प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने भी आ सवाल पूछा कि की आ चार्जिस गुड इनफ है इन्हों बार्स के पिछे रखने ली या डिपोर्ट करने ली सो ये भी देखना की जवाब दिता ऑफिसर्स ने दीज चार्जिस आर दे इनफ to keep them behind the bars because we salute to the police forces who work day and night for the public safety. But we got shocked when these criminals, because they are out next day or few days, are the charges enough to keep them behind the bars or to deport them out of the country so that we can clean the mess here in Canada? Thank you.
Just to be clear, thank you for the question. As you know, with all of these complex investigations, we're one key component of the justice system, and these specific charges need to proceed before the courts, which our investigative teams are working tirelessly with our local crowns to ensure that the best cases are put forward, and that is a reflection of why we have such a skilled and talented set of investigators. As you know, everybody's circumstances are different. The charges, as Superintendent Thompson has relayed, will all have to be heard before the courts. The outcomes of which we cannot tell you or predict, Nitin, for sure. And as it pertains to people's residency or their their status, we know there's a wide range of individuals involved. And our goal is to mitigate the risk, prevent it from happening, and then afterwards the other systems will just have to fall into place. Then
these people whom we arrested, because seems they are 21, 22 years of age, 4 individuals, they came here on a study visa, which colleges they went, did they completed their studies, because there were reports that many 20,000 students, they never attended any college, university. So any more details in the investigation you have? Also, we would like to see here 2 leaders we have here, Chief Nish and Mayor Brown. What level, because break and enters are also happening, and what public should do, because it's scary videos, 4 a.m. in the morning, armed people enter. So first on these individuals, thank you.
In terms of the accused, because they are charged and the matters are before the court, I can't speak to whether or not how they're here in Canada. So I'm going to have to put that one to rest right now, just so that we're not jeopardizing the judicial process when they come before the courts and tainting the process.
And then I think, here's the reality is, today is obviously to keep this issue out front. Second part is to show and indicate to the community with some confidence that we are able to arrest individuals involved with these patterns of behaviors. So it's incumbent upon us to make sure that that is communicated as an example of our response. So the fear which they rightfully may have needs to be couched with the positive action that's happening concurrent to that. Now, for individuals that are worried, we would be happy to have them connect for prevention-related tips and how to protect and keep their properties safe. We have multiple resources that help bolster and strengthen people's sense of security. There's a conflict conflation of multiple issues that are happening in the community. We know that it's not just here in Peel, whether it be auto thefts or those type of issues. So, I mean, all of them require a response in us to assist the public in making sure that they do what they can within their control to ensure that they're safe. So, really, that's the best I can comment on that. Sure.
Nitin, since you asked, what I would say is, from residents who have felt helpless, this is why you come forward. Because if you come forward, the police are able to have that investigation, and they have success. Again and again and again, when you come forward to the Peel Police, they have the tools, they've got the capacity to find the people responsible. And obviously, people are making payments. People are falling victim. Otherwise, it wouldn't continue to be replicated in Peel and across Canada and the U.S. And so if these crimes go unabated, then they'll continue to flourish and continue to grow. This, hopefully, is a message to those victims that you're not helpless. When you come forward, real results happen, and it's a win for public safety.
This is a good result by Peel Police. The task force, they arrested 5 people. But the gangs may be much bigger. They might be the puppets. The bigger gangs might be behind. So is this an organized crime, what you see?
So I think it's very early in the investigation. Today is a tremendous win because you have arrests from individuals allegedly responsible for these heinous crimes. And when you have a team as strong as the Peel Police, with these arrests, it will begin to unravel. And so for those that felt helpless before, who were unsure whether they could deal with this, whether these threats that are anonymous were able to be dealt with since they were using unusual digital platforms, today's you should have a sense of confidence that no matter the platforms these threats are happening on, the police will meet that challenge. They will find the people responsible. And so, today's a great day for public safety. Today's a great day, a vindication for the victims of these heinous crimes.
So how confident are you that they will be out on bail very soon?
So these are very serious charges, and so you can never presume what the outcome of the judicial process will be, but these are very serious charges that would have serious sentences.
You want to send any strong message to the higher levels, to the politicians, upper level, provincial, federal, because break and enter, scary videos, 4 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, what the residents should do? How can they feel themselves safe when we see that kind of armed people entering your homes?
I would say, first of all, thank you to the provincial and federal governments. Michael Kersner, the Solicitor General, Dominic LeBlanc, the Federal Public Safety Minister, have been in touch. This example of extortions, there's been a high level of collaboration, and certainly I would love to see that level of acute collaboration on other criminal threats. I'm heading later today with Chief Nish to the Auto Theft Summit in Ottawa. This is an example of collaboration that is welcomed. And we've been talking about auto thefts for a long time in Peel. The fact that we've got the government's focus and attention on it right now is very encouraging. And I would note some of these break-ins are associated with the auto theft industry. You see someone breaking in to get keys. These carjackings and auto thefts have just become so blatant that it's harrowing. And so when you say, what can other levels of government do? I believe we're starting to see that collaboration happen, and I just hope it continues to occur.
Finally, Chief Nish said that Canada has the highest, longest undefended border from where the guns are coming in. Cars are going out, guns are coming in, so drugs are coming in. So we need a reforms at all the levels, political levels, because before elections, which is next year, we see some activities, and then 4 years passed like this.
Well, I don't think we know when the next election is going to be, obviously. That's not a fixed date. But what I would say is right now, we're having cooperation from the Government of Canada. I welcome the summit. I think we're going to be talking about a lot of those issues. You mentioned the border. Obviously, the Port of Montreal is a big concern that the Peel Police have articulated, I've articulated, and the fact that the Government of Canada is at the table to help is good news. Whether, end of the day, whether it should have been 4 years or 5 years ago, that collaboration happened or that focus on the ports, I'm just happy it's happening. And so I go to Ottawa for this summit, very encouraged that the Government of Canada is at the table, eager to help.
The purpose of today is to not only provide an update and keep this important issue out front in the media, but is also to tell you about the outcomes that we're seeing from our investigative actions here in Peel. As a background, late last year, we began to see trends here in Peel region of reported extortions aimed at our South Asian community, in particular South Asian business community. So this is late last year. And in these attempts, as many of you know, individual suspects were using social media or internet-based messaging platforms to contact victims under the demand for money with the threat of violence. And the threats of violence were either aimed towards the businesses, the business victims themselves, but also to their homes and families and any other individuals related to them. To date, here in Peel region, we have received 29 reported incidents of extortion. And I want to stress that part of the reason is to also implore the public and the community to contact us. We know those are the ones that have been reported thus far. One of the things you will hear, particularly from His Worship Mayor Brown, is that we have heard the community and hear the fear in our South Asian community and the business community. This not only affects the businesses, but their owners and families. We also are very proud here in Peel region to have a very vibrant business community that is the core for here in Peel. Logistics, transportation, anything outside of Los Angeles. We're one of the biggest municipalities for such a thriving business. And it is absolutely our responsibility to make sure that we respond and end this trend. As a result, the public would be aware that on December 20th, here in Peel, we announced the establishment of an extortion investigative task force. And this team is comprised of approximately 23 specialized members from here in Peel Regional Police. They're a combination of policing operations, criminal investigations, and our investigative and emergency services team. And can I tell you, they are a remarkable set of individuals who are very talented, that have all come together, that are working tirelessly. The creation of this team is for two main purposes. First and foremost is to protect this community and protect the feeling of safety that is so vibrant and needed here, as well as to prevent any future acts of violence. I need to tell you, this is a non-negotiable for us. Anyone targeting this community will not be tolerated at all. The second main objective is to identify and hold the individuals that are involved responsible and accountable. Again, our police service will not accept that. Since we started this task force, and in that same period of time, this extortion investigative team has been working tirelessly for these two objectives. And I am pleased that we will be able to share some of the outcomes thus far. Some of the members of the team are here, and Superintendent Thompson will be able to speak to that. I do want to highlight that there are similar trends that we've been seeing in Alberta and as well as lower mainland British Columbia, as well as in certain locations in the U.S. Our investigative team continues to liaise and work with our respective police agencies on a national and international basis to ensure that we are continuing to share information in a way that is responsive to this complex set of extortions that we're seeing, as well as the volume of incidents. I want to highlight that our response immediately to these trends here in Peel Regional Police was to establish a team to investigate it, which has now become a model adopted by other police agencies right across this country. Today, we'll be discussing a specific investigation which has included the arrest of 4 people and the seizure of a firearm, ammunition, cash, numerous computers, and approximately 50 cell phones. Those people are charged with 2 separate extortion incidents here in Peel Region and the related offenses. The team has also arrested a 5th individual for a separate extortion incident. This now brings the total number of charges laid by the Extortion Investigative Task Force here in Peel to 24 charges. I need to say that despite the success that the team is seeing, our work is far from done, and we will continue to devote the necessary resources to keep this community safe and prevent this trend from continuing. As I said earlier, we will continue to work with our partner agencies on a provincial and a national level to continue to share information gleaned. I want to encourage the community that's being affected. They need to know that this police service will not tolerate it. The response you've seen thus far is an indication of how seriously we're taking it here in Peel Region. We also want to encourage the community to come forward. If you have been victimized, or you're aware, or you have any information in relation to the incidents that we're seeing, please contact us immediately. We have established a hotline for the extortions. If you also wish to call and share information anonymously, obviously through Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS.
We continue to work with our partner agencies and law enforcement to address these incidents. This is evident in the first investigation that I'm going to be sharing with you, which was conducted in support with the Ontario Provincial Police in Caledon. On January 24th, 2024, members of the task force executed a search warrant at a residence in the city of Brampton in relation to the extortion of a Caledon business owner. These incidences occurred in Brampton and Caledon in December of 2023 and January of 2024. They include extortions, arson, threats, and firearm offenses. As a result of this warrant, there were 4 individuals that have been arrested and charged. There were over 50 cell phones that were seized, 11 laptops, a large sum of cash, and a firearm with several rounds of ammunition. The first accused was Gaganajit Singh, a 23-year-old male from Brampton who is allegedly the person responsible for making the extortion demands on 2 separate incidents. He was subsequently charged with the following offenses: 2 counts of extortion, utter threats to cause death, discharge firearm with intent, arson causing damage to property, fraud over $5,000, along with several other firearm-related offenses. Anmaldeep Singh, a 23-year-old male from Mississauga, was charged with the following offenses: fraud over $5,000. In addition, he's also facing several other firearm-related offenses. Hajmeet Kaur, a 25-year-old female from Brampton, and Imanjot Kaur, a 21-year-old female, were both charged with multiple firearm-related offenses. On Friday, January 26, 2024, an additional arrest was made in relation to a separate extortion investigation that was conducted by the team. The victim was present at their business in the city of Brampton when they received a phone call and threatening messages to send a large amount of money or they would be shot. Investigators identified Arundeep Tind, a 39-year-old male of no fixed address, as being the person responsible for allegedly making the extortion demand. He was subsequently charged with 1 count of extortion. I want to reaffirm that these acts of intimidation on our community members will not be tolerated. We take our responsibility to ensure the public feels safe and supported very seriously. With the assistance of our community, we have made arrests, and we will continue to make efforts to hold those responsible for these crimes accountable. We encourage anyone who has been a victim of extortion or may have information that may assist investigators to contact the Extortion Investigative Task Force at 1-866-966-0616 or by email at taskforce@peelpolice.ca or anonymously through Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS.
Well, first of all, thank you, Chief Nish and Shelley and the Extortion Investigative Task Force. This is a big relief for our community. I can't tell you how harrowing it was to get phone calls in the fall from families that were terrified, business owners that were terrified, expressing a complete level of desperation and dismay, describing what it's like to have your family residence or business shot at or to be the victim of arson. This was terrorizing our community. This was terrorizing the South Asian community. And because of the great work of the Peel Police and partner organizations, this is a big win for public safety. I have to say, I've spoken to both the Solicitor General and the Public Federal Safety Minister, and I think the level of cooperation is very helpful, and it's great when you see all these law enforcement agencies working together to make sure Canadians are safe. You know, as the Chief mentioned, there's been a pattern of events across Canada, and Peel Region is one of the most complex regions where we face new criminal challenges. We're the most diverse region in the country, but with that comes challenges. But it gives me a great level of confidence that we've got the best of the best in the Peel Police. And when they meet a challenge, they find a way to attend to that challenge. And so today is a day of really relief that we know you have started the process to unravel this, that we've sent a clear message that if you're going to terrorize our residents, it will not be tolerated, that these type of heinous crimes will not go unchecked in Peel Region or in Canada. And so this is the evidence of what happens when you've got a great police force, that it gives us that sense of safety. And so there's a debt of gratitude for our residents and for those who've been victims of extortion. I know this is going to be a great sense of relief for them, that this doesn't go unabated, that the criminals behind this who continue to prey on our community are not going to get away with this. And so on behalf of the City of Brampton, on behalf of the community that I represent, I want to thank the Peel Police for their tremendous work, and they're setting the gold standard that I know is being replicated in other communities with law enforcement. So I come here today with a big smile. I've been worried talking to the Chief over the last few months, but I come with a big smile today on hearing this news. This is a tremendous win for public safety. Thank you.